If there's a Klingon one.
Yeah, I think there's one that's like just for the Klingons. I forget. But there was another group there. If they weren't Starfleet Dental, they were sympathetic to them because they were helping out Starfleet Dental like crazy.
Right.
I was in my main, so I didn't have to worry. But if I was in my cat, oh my god, they troll the hell out of me.
Yeah, you have a girl cat, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you would have fire extinguishers pointed at you the entire time.
Yeah. It's funny when Starfleet Dental's not there because I get hit on constantly. Yeah.
Ah, stay classy, Star Trek.
Yes. I get hit on like mad. The worst one though is when it was somebody I knew. I was like, stop it. Just stop it.
Oh, Unguided says Externity Fleet is a front for Dental.
Ah. Okay.
Oh,
Yeah, that's it.
what is that symbol?
What symbol?
Oh, in the Twitch chat, it looks like a little battery with a lightning bolt on it. In front of Unguided's name on the Twitch chat.
I'll have to alt tab to that chat. Because my phone doesn't show that.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Oh, he's a turbo. He's a turbo.
Oh, okay. Awesome.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that was definitely the name of the fleet that I saw there.
Hmm.
But I find that interesting sometimes when there's a bunch of people.
Yeah, I'm not. I'm not as familiar with the cultural makeup of the guilds that are related to Starfleet Dental and etc. Nelson would probably know a lot more about that.
Oh, nice. I gotta get into like Twitch and stuff and follow their sales and stuff. I'm actually surprised it doesn't show that symbol on my cell phone though. On the chat on my cell.
It's probably not programmed to do it on mobile.
Yeah, it's also not programmed to take me. It's also not programmed to take me directly to my my channel on my cell either. I actually had to search for my username to get to my own stream.
Oh.
Yeah. I tried following myself, but apparently you can't do that.
Well, why?
Well, if I'm following somebody that's live, I can hit a button that says followers.
Oh. You got someone.
I know, I'm kind of getting trolled. Is it a little choppy for you on the stream?
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
It's like I said, you got it to be a lot less choppy after that one thing before, but it still has some FPS drop issue.
Yeah, I just noticed it a little. Oh, I got the hiccups now, man. I noticed it like 5 seconds, couple seconds ago, like it just froze on Twitch, but on my computer it was fine. I'm gonna have to look into that program. What program did you say that was? Like,
I had to use something called throttle stop, but mostly that was to deal with a problem that happened to me in DCUO, where suddenly the FPS would drop like to nothing, and throttle stop was preventing that.
Yeah. Well, the only reason why I mentioned that is I just alt-tabbed over to my task manager, and my CPU is less than 2 gigahertz now.
Huh.
And I know it can throttle my CPU. Like if I put it on a lower power setting, my CPU will not go above 1.5 gigahertz.
Right, in order to save battery?
Yeah. But I've also noticed that if my computer gets really hot, it throttles it down too. Like, I was at a client's house with my computer, and he moved it onto his bed, because his office is also in a guest room. So there's a bed right there. So he moved my computer onto the bed, and it blocked all the vents.
Emergency power. Power to partay.
Yay!
So who's the critter?
Sand sculpting time is over. You may keep building, but bonus
Starfleet
rewards
Dental
will come back in an hour.
I wonder if it's the I ran across a Starfleet Dental critter during our last live stream, landing on the beach, and I gave him or her one of the last 2 master keys, because I had 2 left and I just had to give them away to someone.
Oh yeah.
So I just kind of I just found someone and threw them at him. I was like, "Here, you want keys? Here, has."
That's nice.
And Nelson was like, "Starfleet Dential doesn't need keys. They have the Wesleys." And I was like, "Well, whatever."
Yeah. Well, at least he's having fun with it.
Yes. Well, and that's something that I really like about Star Trek Online is the level of engagement. And
oh yeah.
also, I do greatly enjoy the Subspace Party Amplifier. I know that people like to joke about them as kind of like, troll balls, because they enforce dancing and they change the affect of the gameplay, and you can do it for an entire region. I'm still greatly amused by them. I like them a lot.
Yeah.
Oh, another person.
Yeah, he came in for a second.
Dance in midair.
Yeah. It used to be if you were on the floaters, you wouldn't dance to it.
Oh.
Bald coworker, I just noticed his name. I do like Starfleet Dental for their names. At least they come up with some nice, interesting names.
Well, I mean, if you're going to put together a fleet that's trying to parody as much as possible, it behooves you to have creative people involved.
Oh, yeah.
Starfleet Dental certainly makes that grade.
Oh, yeah. I didn't notice that I got new fleet, not new fleet, but new ship costume options when I went Lifer.
Okay. Oh, yeah. I was gonna say, if you don't notice when you get a new fleet, something weird is going on. Like you got drunk.
Drunk one
costume
night,
options. But when you get lifetime membership, you get the veteran skins, and then you suddenly get access to like random other junk that's like all over the place. I just keep finding things that I didn't know were part of it.
Yeah. You get all 1,000 veteran, or not one, the 1,000, all the way up to the 1,000-day veteran rewards plus the extra bonuses.
Right. Yeah, because they made that retroactive.
Yeah.
Cryptic was all like, "Oh, this has been going on for too long, and people will never catch up, and it's going to just infuriate them." So they just made all rewards retroactive.
Yeah. Well, they also announced that 1,000 days was going to be the end of the veteran rewards, didn't they?
Oh, I didn't hear that, but I could see that.
Yeah. But it turns out, like, if you spent $300 for the lifetime membership package, you pretty much paid for, 2-3 years worth of service?
Mm-hmm.
So why not give you everything at once? You already paid for it all.
Right. Yeah, that's a good point.
There's a lot of people upset about that, but...
Well, to a certain extent, I can see them arguing that it tends to devalue their original contribution, because they want to be bigger, badder, and better than everyone else because they got in sooner.
Yeah.
But from a customer service standpoint, being generous and just handing it out to everyone works out in Cryptic's favor.
Oh, yeah.
And certainly, the early veterans will grit their teeth, but hopefully they'll get over it.
Yeah.
I mean, early lifetimers, I should say.
Well, technically early veterans too, because they had a big sale when the game first was released to the public, I guess.
Yeah,
I
actually,
huh?
I made a character when it first came out, Cassie, except for it blew up my computer, so she was stuck in the tutorial.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I didn't start playing until it went free to play, and she was still there.
Yep. I wonder if you're still in the original tutorial. I don't know. Because I know they changed the tutorial a few times.
I don't recall, actually. So it's because I like I said, I didn't get out of the tutorial. It would crash like at the end, like before going into space.
Oh, so you had to delete
fight
her
the Borg.
and redo
No,
it.
actually, I didn't have to delete her. I did not continue playing the game. Is what happened. And then when it went free to play, she was still there in my character inventory and still in the tutorial.
Ah.
So I just went and got her through the tutorial, and now I had a brand new computer, and it worked just fine. Or Star Trek Online had gone through, several phases of patches and fixes and, etc. I mean, like, this game has continuously enhanced itself from its beginning.
Oh, it has. Like, since Atari had it. Oh my god. And I was a little worried that Perfect World was going to destroy the game.
Yeah, so was I.
Yeah, because I had played a little bit of Perfect World International. I think is the name of their game.
That's correct. PWI.
Okay. And
Perfect World Entertainment publishes Perfect World International, and that's like some crazy, extremely like East Asian fantasy style.
Yeah.
With vampires and ridiculous outfits and all sorts of other stuff. I may have written a review for that for one of the gaming sites that I work for. But it's like that was like a hard, very grindcore East Asian cultural.
I was gonna say because that's all you did was grind.
Yep, yeah, and that would never fly with the Western audience.
Yeah.
Ever. And that was the first thing that concerned me when I learned that Perfect World Entertainment had bought Star Trek Online, was that every single one of their games that I was familiar with were all for an East Asian audience.
Yeah.
And so when I saw that, I was like, well, Perfect World Entertainment is a perfectly decent MMO publisher. It's just that I don't recall them doing any games for Western audiences. Now, they certainly have never developed any games for Western audiences, at least not successfully. But buying one with a Western audience that has a lot of money, a solid customer base that is continuing to pour money into it, suggested to me that maybe if they didn't screw with the mechanics that made it work for the Western audience, they would still do well.
Yeah.
PWE has a huge publishing portfolio. They've got a lot of money, and so as long as they're not going to micromanage it, I could see them doing well. And well, this was all my initial like, oh crap, from when I heard that. And so far, they've done a pretty good job of not utterly ruining it. Now I know that's not really a huge praise. But oh yeah, he's still with you.
Yeah. Wait for the
thing
emote to come up.
I never experienced Star Trek Online under Atari, so I can't speak to what was going on or how people felt about the way that Atari was treating Star Trek Online, but I am experiencing it since Perfect World Entertainment took over, and it seems like they're doing pretty decent by them.
Oh, yeah. They enhanced, from what I can tell, they've tripled the development staff, too.
Oh, that's brilliant.
Across Star Trek Online alone, not to mention the other games.
The critters who are sitting on the dock their animation interrupted. It's hilarious.
It is. Well, I was planning to do a heck of a lot more for the test live stream, but I've been having some FPS issues.
Yeah, well, hopefully you can streamline the optimization. Like, I mean, I think that you've gone to the floor on Star Trek Online, and you're broadcasting at a really low resolution. So really, the problem that needs to be figured out is lowering the CPU load of the broadcaster itself.
Yeah.
And that might help your FPS. And if you can do that, you might be able to broadcast at a higher resolution, and also probably bring up some of your graphics settings.
It's probably like really, really jumpy right now, isn't it?
No, it's doing okay. It's still at the same low FPS as before. It goes bad and then goes okay intermittently, but at least it's not the same like horrible slideshow that it was before you caught that one flash instance that was eating your processor at the beginning. But the FPS is still low enough that it's bothering me. But I think that if you can fiddle around with the broadcaster settings, you might want to just visit the forums and see if there's people who have a similar problem and try out their settings, and then just fiddle with that. Maybe you'll get it to a point where it will work better. And of course, if you can keep your computer from throttling you, that could be another possible problem.
Yeah. I'm still, as I jump, I keep dancing.
Yes, that is pretty cool.
If I had my main, I'd have like a floater too.
Yeah.
I could go grab one.
I do like the fact that you can dance wearing a floater. You know, just hovering there in the air dancing is just funny.
Yeah, it is funny. I like the fact that you keep dancing while you jump, too.
Yeah, that's a little bit of a surprise.
Yeah, just a little bit. Oh well.
Oops. I'm sitting here playing with this expensive clicky pin, and I accidentally unscrewed the top, so I'm gonna stop.
Yeah. I should probably call this live stream quits for a little bit.
Okay. Well, I'll still be around to watch and tell you if your experiments are getting better or not.
Yeah.
If you need a second pair of eyeballs.
Well, I'll have to look up, like, capture cards for my old computer.
Oh, yeah.
I know I can get some that are cheap, but that might work. I also would like to do some rendering, streaming of, like, PlayStation games, but I know that's a hard thing to do.
Well, I mean, couldn't you just do it the same way? Run sort of to a computer with a capture card?
If I did that with the Xbox, yeah, I could. But the PlayStation 3 encrypts the HDMI signal.
Oh my God! Screw them.
Yeah, the Xbox has the same feature, but the Xbox, the programmer has to explicitly say, "I want to encrypt the HDMI signal."
Right.
On PlayStation 3, the developer has to say, "I don't want to encrypt the HDMI signal."
And then they just forget to, because, well, extra effort.
Yeah. And as far as I know, there's only one game that was ever created that explicitly said yes or no to encryption. I don't know what it was. But it's like, it's not, especially with the fact that Xbox and PlayStation 3, it's different procedures.
Mm-hmm.
So why would a developer want to put something in when they're going to have to put a completely different procedure in for the second system? That's why you see so many Xbox 360 streamers instead of PlayStation streamers.
Well, also, Xbox 360 Xbox One is incorporating streaming straight up.
Well, yeah, there's that, but I'm talking about before the Xbox One and the PS4 came out.
Right, right.
If you notice, there's an awful lot more streamers and Let's Players that are from PlayStation, Xbox.
From Xbox, yeah, well, like, there's the whole Call of Duty community. I mean, that no doubt, that probably led to an explosive interest in, in Xbox and Call of Duty in general.
Yeah. But even though that's also out for PlayStation 3, there's a lot more. You see only videos from Xbox. That's because you don't have to buy the more expensive capture cards that can decrypt the signal.
Man, I mean, like, it feels like a huge lost opportunity, especially now that streaming services like Twitch TV, which I should mention because here we are becoming so prolific. I mean, like, the idea of streaming, like, last year I tried to put together an article about, like, where I was trying to ask a bunch of people how they felt that live streaming would impact gaming. And one of the things that I grew up with was game time. If someone was in the living room playing a video game, it didn't take very long for, like, everyone else in the house to end up on the couch, just sitting around watching and laughing and, like, playing vicariously. And that's kind of exactly what streaming is. It's you pick someone who's doing something interesting in a game and probably talking at you so that you can just watch and interact while not playing yourself. And so it's like this hugely extended living room. Now streaming also adds things like a useful presentation for esports and stuff like that. I'm not about to dismiss that, but for your everyday gamer who's sitting down in front of a computer screen who just wants to watch a game being played or be part of the social experience, it's like that living room again.
Yeah.
In fact, I found some of my favorite streamers that way. They're like, they're small-time people with probably like, 100 followers maximum who play the games that I play, and I just sit there and laugh with them while they're trying to get through stuff.
Yeah, that was my idea for streaming anyway.
Yeah.
That was part of my idea for rolling a liberated board, just to do something like that.
Oh yeah, and as long as I've got time, I'm really happy to just, watch along while I'm doing whatever else. That's why I figured I'd come along this time and see if I could help you, iron out any difficulties that you were having.
Yeah. I think the next thing I'm going to save up for, after I get the Zoom 8.6, because that's actually going to be for a project that should make me money. Anything that gets me out of Walmart quicker, it sits high on my priority list.
No kidding. Everybody from the MMO Anthropology show is rooting for you to find something better than Walmart.
I know. That's why I said, oh, look, I got something new. You're not working at Walmart no more? No, it's not that good.
It has become kind of a running gag.
Yes. But since my project for interviewing Detroit-based businesses got featured on MLive,
right,
which is Michigan's paper, I think.
Right. You, Mitch.
Yeah. Not University of Michigan, just the state in general.
Oh, just the state in general?
Yeah, it's like it's a website with just State of Michigan Press, more or less.
Oh, okay.
Huh. I forget who runs it, but since they featured it and I got some good press from that, I'm definitely going to try not to disappoint with that. That's why I tried to ask Kaz a question yesterday. Oh. And he wasn't there.
Oh, yeah, he's a night owl.
Yeah.
He has insomnia often, so it's hard for me to tell when he's awake and when he's not. So I just generally just leave him messages and hope that he'll asynchronously answer at some unspecified time in the future.
Yeah, I do the same thing with a lot of my friends. One of them doesn't answer me unless she happens to catch the question right away.
Oh, yeah.
Otherwise, she'll go, oh, I didn't want to talk to nothing. I was like, there's a reason why I don't say hi or anything and just ask you a highly specific question. Because I want to know the answer to the question.
I mean, I guess there's a little bit of a cultural shock thing when it comes to messengers, because people, expect that maybe it's like a phone call. But really, messengers also have this good tendency of just saving the message. You can treat it like voicemail. And I do have friends who have such absurd schedules that the only way that we talk is I post a message or two, and then the next day I get responses. It's very short email.
Like I tell a lot of people. I didn't have to tell you though, but the one pet peeve I have is when I sit at my computer and I see 1,000 messages from somebody. That's just hi, where are you, or some variant of those two.
Yeah, the only time you'll get a bunch of messages from me is when I have to clarify something I just said.
Yeah.
It's not going to be hi.
Yeah.
Because that's just obnoxious.
And I can understand it if it's like a couple hours apart and you're just trying to see it on there.
Yeah.
But I sat down on my computer one day about a couple months ago and I saw one and it was like in the span of an hour, 150 messages. I counted them. 150 messages that just said hi, all in the course of an hour.
Oh dear.
That's ridiculous. That is more than 3 messages a minute, I think. Right around 2 to 3 messages a minute.
Okay. Yeah, I promise I'll never do that to you. I would avoid doing that to anyone.
Yeah. It annoys me. Well, actually, it doesn't happen very often. It's usually like a new contact that does it.
Mm-hmm.
That for some reason gets clingy. It's happened a lot more often than I like to admit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And it don't even matter gender. They just get clingy.